It often seems like nobody likes you when you're depressed. And we can talk about mental health and how important it is, but the moment somebody expresses that they're depressed, it almost seems like people judge them. Or people start to distance themselves from you. Or sometimes if you're struggling with your mental health, people almost see you as you're negative or as if you're a burden. Or simply someone that is too heavy to handle. But the truth is, your mental health matters, and it doesn't matter how people see or perceive you, you matter. And lately, if you've been feeling down or you've been feeling low or if you've been struggling with your healing, the truth is, it takes time. Finding yourself takes a lot of time. I am a mental health nurse by background, and last year, November 2025, I lost my younger sister to suicide. She had a long struggle with her mental health. She struggled a lot, but she was also seeking help professionally. And being her sister and the next of kin, I got to understand the difficulties that people often have, especially when it comes to prioritizing their mental health or just talking about their difficulties. And I genuinely feel because of my knowledge that I had as a mental health practitioner, I was able to fully understand what she needed in terms of support whenever she was struggling. Sometimes she would say, I'm not okay. And my job was not to fix what the problem was. My job was just to be present for her. And the truth is, I used to tell her that your mental health matters and you should always prioritize it, even when it makes people uncomfortable. Even if it means that you need to take some time out for yourself, do what you need to do to make sure that your mental health is a priority. So today I want to share with you 10 signs that shows that you're finally putting your mental health first. And number one, when you start prioritizing your mental health, you no longer feel guilty for saying no or for putting yourself first. Half of the time why our mental health struggles is because maybe we are doing too much for other people and leaving ourselves short. And sometimes you ignore your own needs and end up exhausted. How many times do you feel like you have to show up for other people, but when it comes to you, there is no that understanding for you? So remember, if you're struggling, remember that protecting your peace isn't selfish, it's really necessary. Because every time you say no to something that's draining you, you're simply saying yes to your well-being. You're simply saying yes to yourself. So prioritize yourself. And another sign that shows that you're finally putting your mental health first is you're setting clear boundaries with people. Boundaries are so hard to set up, especially if you're somebody that's such a people pleaser, especially if you're somebody that's always saying yes to people. And when you set boundaries, you realize that not everybody deserves access to you because half of your problems are probably inflicted by people and what they do to you and what they take from you. And whether it's family, friends, work colleagues, putting in health boundaries, it acts as a self-respect to yourself. It protects you from people using you. And remember, if you're struggling with your mental health, you don't have to justify to people why you need space. You do not need to explain yourself. Because no is a complete sentence and it doesn't need further explanation to anybody. Number 3 on signs that you're prioritizing your mental health is you're choosing to rest without not feeling guilty. I used to struggle with this. Whenever I take some rest, I used to feel guilty like, oh, I should be productive. I should be doing something. Oh, I don't think I'm useful at the moment. But I've got to understand that for me to function, I need to have that rest. Whether it's just me reading a book, whether it's just me laying down in my bed and just prioritizing my own needs, I felt like I always needed that. And remember, rest isn't laziness. I saw a quote when somebody was like, oh, if you're depressed, it means you're lazy. No, sometimes depression actually leaves your body numb into a point that you feel like you can't physically do the simplest things like brushing your teeth, washing your face, or even going out, or even making yourself a meal. So if you need to rest, rest because your mind needs it. And when you start prioritizing your mental health, you start paying attention to the inner voices of yourself. You start noticing how you speak to yourself. You start being more kind to yourself. You start being more patient with yourself. And instead of calling yourself a failure, instead of saying to yourself, I will never stop being depressed, you start being more compassionate. You start replacing being harsh and self-criticizing yourself with self-respect and pouring a little bit of love in yourself. And I get it. When we struggle with our mental health, it's really hard for us to actually feel connected to ourselves. It's really hard for us to actually love on ourselves because we almost feel like we are unlovable. But when you start prioritizing your mental health, that mindset almost shifts. And it could be the tiniest little things. It could be like you look yourself in the mirror and say, oh, I like how my lips line. Or oh, I like my smile. Or I've got nice teeth. You just start being more kinder to yourself. And another point that shows that you're prioritizing your mental health is you are starting to let go of people who constantly drain you. Not everybody is meant to stay in your life forever. You need to understand certain friendships, relationships will come to an end, and that's okay because that is a part of life. And you no longer chase people who only call you when you need something. Have you ever noticed you probably have friendships or relationships with people that the only way communication happens is one, if they need anything, or two, if you reach out to them. If they don't need anything from you, they don't reach out. So you don't need to put energy into that. And when you're prioritizing your mental health, you start noticing those things. You start being okay with being by yourself. You start almost feeling emotionally drained to be around people that drain your spirit. And sometimes when you're prioritizing your mental health, protecting your peace simply means walking away from people or things that don't serve you. Because again, your mental health comes first. Half of our problems, I promise you, are caused by the things that we pour energy into. And if you're pouring your energy into work, relationships, or things that don't serve you or things that keeps draining you, you will constantly find yourself in this loop where you're forever questioning your worth and you're always leaving yourself drained and leaving yourself short. And another point that shows that you're prioritizing your mental health is you start being able to ask for help when you need it. When you're struggling with your mental health or when you're depressed, asking for help and seeking for support is something that seems so difficult because in your mind you almost feel like nobody cares and nobody will get it. But when you start prioritizing your mental health, just picking up your phone to call the Samaritans, just picking up your phone to call someone that you're close to just to let them know like, look, today I'm not having a good day, I'm struggling. I'm one person that usually does this. When I'm feeling really low, I think like last week I called the girls group chat and I was like, guys, I don't feel good. I feel a bit irritable. My mood is just being all over the place. And you know, my friends, bless them, they were like, are you sure you're not about to go on your periods? Are you sure you're just maybe missing the gym because you've not been out? And after speaking to them, even though they couldn't solve my problem, I felt better because I felt like I reached out. I didn't sit there and internally struggle with my emotions and my thoughts myself. Sometimes reaching out for help when you're struggling with your mental health, it's not about finding someone to fix the issue. It's about sharing the problem. It's about taking out what's up there and saying it with your mouth and releasing it. And I promise you, you will feel better. Half of your issues, they don't need someone to solve. They just need you to be able to speak them out and let them out, and you will be able to find the solution that works for you. And taking better care of your body also shows that you're prioritizing your mental health. Things like moving, you're walking more, you're exercising more, you're drinking water, you are just taking care of yourself. You're just more intentional about your body and your look. Things like that matter so much. I remember when my sister used to struggle with her mental health, I could tell when she's not having a good week, a good month, because either her braids are not done or either I just see that, you know, she's probably not attending to her personal hygiene as she should, or she's not eating well. And those are usually one of the first signs to actually notice when someone is struggling with their mental health. But when you start prioritizing your mental health, you actually start investing more and being intentional in pouring more into your physical health, into your physical body. And what does that look like? That looks like getting up in the morning, having a wash, tying your hair, putting some lip gloss on. You don't have to go anywhere. Or that looks like, do you know what? I'm gonna walk to town today. I'm not gonna get a taxi, I'm not gonna get a bus, I'm not gonna drive, I'm just gonna walk. That looks like just like being intentional. That looks like drinking water and making sure that you're hydrated because you know that's good for your skin. So always take care of your body because you live in it. This body, you live in it. Love on your body. And number 9 on signs that shows that you are taking care of your mental health is you are no longer comparing yourself to other people. Comparison is the thief of all joys. When you stop comparing yourself to other people, you are on your way to healing, sis. You're on your way to be the best version of yourself. Because when you stop comparing yourself to other people, you realize that, you know what? I'm okay the way I am. I have everything that I need and I don't need to be anything else than just by myself. Especially now in a world of social media, it's so easy to go online on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram and look at other people's lifestyle and just think like, wow, they're far much better than me. Wow, they've bought a house. Wow, they're traveling. Wow, they look like they had a good birthday. And then you rob yourself from literally identifying what good things are happening in your life. So when you stop comparing yourself to other people, you start living your life for you. You start to be more intentional about the plans that you have for yourself. You start appreciating your own journey. And you start realizing that everyone has got different timelines. Everyone has got a different life journey. And then this life is not a race. I always say this in my video. Do not do life in a way you feel like this is a race. Nobody ever gets a prize for doing something first. Like nobody gets a prize for buying their house before you. You know, there's no trophy there being given to people like, oh, you got married first, you get a trophy. Oh, you moved abroad before your friends, you get a trophy. Everyone's timeline is different. And when you start prioritizing your mental health in your own life, you realize that you are on your own journey. You need to focus on you. And my final sign, and this is the most important one of them all, that you're finally putting your mental health first, is you are now putting God first in everything that you do. You are simply putting God at the center of your life. If you're like me, I'm a Christian. I genuinely believe that I cannot do this life without God. I genuinely believe like whatever I plan to do, if I don't put God at the center of it, I'll fail. I could feel like maybe I'm on this trajectory of like achieving everything that I need because, you know, I think I'm a genius. I know God eventually will intervene. If whatever I'm doing does not align with the purpose that He has for my life, that thing will not succeed. And when you start actually being intentional with your mental health, you understand the power of prayer. You understand the power of literally communicating your plans with God, asking God to lead you, asking God for advice and support in anything that you're trying to do. So please consider this last point very important in your journey for your mental health. Because in Isaiah 41 verse 10, the Bible says, "Fear not, for I am with you. Be not dismayed, for I am your God." Remember, when your mind feels overwhelmed, God's peace often reminds you that you don't have to face life challenges by yourself because He is there for you. He is there to guide you. He is there to make sure that you will not fail. He is there to make sure that you will not struggle. Even when you're anxious, I always say this, anxiety and being anxious and being fearful, that spirit is not from God. So whenever you feel like that, give it to God. Pray about it. Pray about your plans. Pray about your dreams. Pray about your mental health. Pray about your anxiety. Pray about your depression. Pray about your life in general. Because only God can direct this path for you. Only Him. We can do everything else that I've listed from 1 to 9, but we still have to put Him at the forefront of our plans in everything we do. So if you've recognized yourself in several of these signs that I've just mentioned in this video today, take a moment to celebrate the progress that you've made so far. Because remember, some days will still be difficult and some days it'll feel like, you know, the world is falling apart. But you've got this. Continue to believe in yourself and I believe in you too. I hope you guys have been encouraged. If you've liked this video, please don't forget to comment, subscribe, and share this video with someone else that might need it. I love you guys and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.